that you passed to pay 5 million to the chairperson and then 1.2 to all of you as commissioners. Over and above your entitlements, which the accounting officer protested and availed copies of correspondences she wrote to the PSST and Secretary of the Treasury, the advice from Attorney General, all confirming that it was a questionable expenditure, and also dividing up the powers of the accounting officer. I want a response from each on that. What is within your recollection? Yes, Commissioner. Let's start from you.
I am not aware of such monies being paid to me. Maybe I didn't quite get you.
But you are aware of 5 million that you approved for the chairperson?
Is that a sitting allowance?
You want to call it what?
If it is a sitting allowance, yes, we receive a sitting allowance per commission meeting.
Of 5 million?
No, sir.
Of how much?
1.2.
And for the chairperson?
I'm not aware how much she gets.
Okay.
Yes.
Or protest from the accounting officer over that figure?
Yes. Actually, on that sitting, you mentioned, was it about when we appointed Pori?
Yes, even for the payment on the PR's account?
I think that one is irregular. It's not a normal thing to do, to pay money on a personal account of... First and foremost, originally, before that budget was moved to the chairperson's office, which is called the stakeholders budget, it used to be done by the accounting officer with the whole commission sitting and being minuted. Later, things changed. When those monies moved to the chairperson's office, now it means the chairperson was the one who is in charge. And most of these meetings, we are not invited. Most of those stakeholders meetings, we are not invited as commissioners. So I don't know what takes place there.
So you agree that the payment of these sums on personal accounts of PA was wrong and irregular?
Yes.
And you learned of the concerns and protests by the former accounting officer?
Yes, sir.
What happened thereafter?
There is also the other issue. When we talked with the former accounting officer, he came very many times crying that he is being pushed to pay money is irregular, and she fears for her life, that she might face prison. And actually in that commission meeting where we sat to appoint Pauline to give her a second office, 3 of us as commissioners, we also protested. There is also the other issue that we would hold a commission meeting, minutes are made, and after, those minutes are falsified.
And it was part of her revelation.
We would agree on something like, for example, we are here, we agree that this is what we are going to do. It is minuted that Honorable Jacqueline, in her own words, she said A, B, C, D. Then you find that what you said actually was changed by the secretary. Myself, I went there to question why, and she said she is told to, you do this, you do that, being coerced and all that. So I agree, it's true. I met her and on many occasions, and she told me that she's being coerced. So to me, that stakeholders, so-called stakeholders fund, I think it should go back to the whole commission, not only to the chairperson's office, so that she's deciding on it alone as a person. It should be the commission, the whole commission, all of us together.
Let's hear from the second commissioner.
Honorable Chair, I wouldn't like to waste the committee's time. With the three commissioners, when we saw things were not correct, among these you have talked about irregular payment to personal accounts. I also say it is irregular. Money should have been paid through an accounting officer and received in cash after being collected. All these accountants are here. That's how they do. When you say it has been a normal practice, I disagree. I'm a second-time commissioner. It has never happened. I've seen it happening in this commission. So, we presented our petition. So I stand by the petition where all those things are. And to a very big extent, I agree with Madam Lucy Ejang.
Yes, Commissioner Smell.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. As my colleagues have already mentioned, I think in our first or second meeting with you here, members, we submitted the copies of our dossier. All these details are there. So we're just repeating.
Maybe for purposes of record, this is a committee.
Yes, sir.
Your dossier may have lacked evidence. It may just have been a narration. When we receive any document, we interrogate you on it. And this is the moment we are looking at figures, because we are into the audit report, which made equally some of this revelation. We are looking at these particular expenditures. So maybe you can refer to your document, but speak to it and speak to the content
Honorable Chair,
in relation to what we are handling.
Honorable Chair and members, I associate myself with what Honorable Jacket has mentioned, and I'm in agreement with what the former Secretary General, former Secretary to the Commission submitted before this committee. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The other Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing useful to add.
Did it come to your knowledge that money was being paid on the PA's account, and what was your position or take?
The money for stakeholders, we don't see it, Mr. Chairman. So, and we don't know how it is spent, so I didn't even know where it goes. On whose account, I didn't know, because we don't see it. And we are not invited, so I didn't know how it is even used.
Okay. The other Commissioner.
Thank you, Chairperson. One, we did at a commission meeting consider a request that was put to us by the chair for some honorarium, if I may call it that. And the reason that was presented was that the chairperson, there were 2 points, 2 reasons. One is that the chairperson, by her qualification of appointment, is supposed to be a judge or a person qualified to be a judge. And two, after our tribunal hearings, it is the chairperson who reviews all the records and develops draft decisions, which are then later submitted to us to look at. So in that regard, she had extra work, technical work to do in terms of generating decisions of the tribunal. And then two, yeah, I think I've mentioned that already. About the monies being paid to the personal assistance account, I think that was a technical it was handled at a technical level?
In 1996. I'm the first chairperson ever to be summoned by COSASE or any investigative accountability committee of parliament. And I'll not talk about the timing when all this started. However, on the honoraria you said of 5 million shillings, I think it has been explained. In fact, it's not the chairperson who moved that motion. It was moved by a member of the commission who said that the chairperson chairs all tribunal sessions. The chairperson reviews all the files ahead of hearings.
Yes?
At the conclusion of the hearings, it's the chairperson who reads all the proceedings and drafts draft 0 of the tribunal decisions. And those drafts, soft copies of those drafts are sent to the emails of the members of the different panels. We have 2 panels for tribunals. Each tribunal chaired by the chairperson and 3 members of the commission. It's the chairperson who originates all tribunal decisions and rulings. And some of them, members of the commission, moved that the chairperson be appreciated for that role.
Which member?
I request not to mention her name, Mr. Chairman. But it was moved by a member of the commission, and it was approved by the commission. In fact, it is in that respect that a generator was allocated to me as a backup system for power in case there is no power. At one time, we returned from Moroto for a tribunal session. The following week, we were to appear in a Hoima regional office for another session. I had to write a decision with four complainants, with so many testimonies, so many witnesses, so many exhibits on different violations, torture, personal liberty, and there was no power that evening. I had to improvise with my mobile phone. So that is the extra work of the chairperson. That is the spirit with which it was moved that an honorarium be paid to the chairperson. That is...
Maybe before you conclude, I'm seeing 2 hands.
Chair.
Yes?
Let me be shoot the first shot. I begin with the last one. There is no any record from the commission about a generator. We came to learn about generators when they had been bought in their other methods, underhand methods. That's what we made it a complaint. You cannot come to complain of something you have decided on. So we still stand, I still stand, that the generators that were bought and taken to the chairperson and 1 commissioner, we are not totally aware and would not approve them.
They were taken to who?
To their homes.
To their homes?
Yes, it is in our dossier. Yeah, that's why we're saying everything.
Speak to it. What was the value of the generators?
Maybe the accounting officer here will answer. They are all here.
But you are taken to who, which home?
To the home of the Honorable Chairperson.
Yes.
Maria Wangadya.
Yes.
And the home of Honorable Crispin Kahero, of which Honorable Crispin Kahero returned them.
He returned the generator?
The generator, when he told the Committee on Legal and others that when he saw things coming up, he returned. And I don't know why he returned it if it had been passed. So that's a different question.
So it is now with the commission?
I think it should be with the commission. So
now the other commissioner, you saw your hand was up? You? Yes?
It is just him who wanted to clarify on something.
Okay. Yes, that. Accounting officer, you record. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to request that since we were on accountability and allowances,
money, and she says one of the commissioners whom she can't mention, could she be herself maybe? because we're talking about money, and she said there is a commissioner who brought up the idea that some of this money should be allocated to her honoraria, and she doesn't want to mention, and we're talking about money. So who is that commissioner?
Madam Chairperson, who is the commissioner?
Honorable Chair and members, the Constitution describes members of the Commission as people of integrity and high moral standing.
Mention them.
I want to request that member to mention herself because she moved that motion and she made a submission on it and it was upheld. So let me throw this. After all, we are people of integrity.
I can see 2 female commissioners. All of you access the microphone and tell us who.
Mr. Chairman, we were in a commission meeting and the chair brought a proposal that she has extra work she does that is over and above her usual work. She chairs 2 tribunals and she has other people outside the tribunal who help her up and they need some kind of a token. Given the fact that they help her draft the decisions, help her do research, and then come up with decisions that are emailed on all the emails of the commissioners to add or deduct. And after deliberating, we agreed that let her be given 5 million because it's what she requested net whenever that we have tribunals and decisions are made.
So
she said that she was finding a lot of difficulties to do the extra work and also pay off those researchers without the commission helping her. So she brought a suggestion to the commission and which we didn't object to.
Yes, the other commissioner.
Of the commissioners, that is gross and net is 1 million. I would like to bring it to the attention of the honorable members here that commissioners are given fuel of 800,000 per month. That is less than 30,000 per day. And we are expected to work every day. And given the capacity of the vehicles that we are given by the commission, they consume 50,000 per day. So the approved fuel is less than 30,000. So we decided to 30,000 to and fro. So we decided that when we sit, we can get the allowance so that we put more fuel to help us do the commission work, since the accounting officer was always saying that we have a budget constraint all the time. And whenever we could go out on the activities, for example, within Kampala and other areas of Wakiso and so, we had to use that fuel. We are not given any extra fuel or meeting any stakeholders outside Kampala. We can't be given any extra fuel. So when we stopped sitting since March, we've been using our pockets, Mr. Chairman, and that is how the situation is at the commission.
Yes, the other commissioner.
Pound now.
So you are not the one. Yes. Now, has since wrote to the PSST and also they sought opinion of the Attorney General, all confirming that this payment is regular. Was this brought to your attention?
I will request to see that opinion, which says paying the honorarium to the chairperson is irregular. I have never seen it.
What did you see?
If I saw it, I would have told her to stop.
What did you see?
I have never seen it.
There are 2 issues: the payment of that amount, and there was a secondary issue of dividing the roles of the accounting officer. She alleges that you instructed that her role be divided to 2 other persons, and that some of the expenditures was actually done by other officers you assigned, not the accounting officer?
I think it had to do with helping her with the writing minutes of the commission meetings, because those minutes at the end of the day are signed by the secretary and the chair. And I think the other role, I don't remember, but eventually that was stopped, and the secretary resumed doing all those roles, including doing the minutes on her own.
Was she involved in spending the 10.4 billion the additional funding?
The supplementary budget?
Yes, was she involved?
This one, maybe the accounting officer can talk to that, address that. Briefly, there was a justification for seeking that 10.4 billion. In fact, the immediate former Attorney General, I think, is the one who wrote, did he write to the President? Yes, owing to the gaps we had. And as to how it has been spent, I know that there is 2 billion shillings, which is it MTF, you said? For salary enhancement, 2 billion shillings. It is unspent. The rest, let me request the accounting officer to explain how it was spent.
This accounting officer?
Thank you,
Although she alleged that you forced her into dividing the roles, and you accordingly divided the roles of the accounting officer to 2 more persons. It's as if you are saying,
responding to,
it's as if you are saying that you only delegated only the role of being a secretary. Is that your answer?
Writing minutes, and I think doing certain approvals of amounts below a certain figure, which I don't remember off the cuff. However, that was reversed. It was corrected.
So you agree that dividing the roles as she alleges was wrong?
I'm aware that in some other institutions, sometimes the role of writing minutes during board meetings or commission meetings can be taken up by the secretary, assisted by another officer.
I mean, in terms of the approvals of those expenditure, you are talking about lower amounts, and do you find it tenable? Why did you reverse it thereafter?
I think when she complained that it was not okay, we reversed it.
Well, Commissioner, you are nodding your head. What is in your knowledge?
Actually, it took 2 sittings. Most of us were not in agreement. The last meeting that enforced 2 people to sit in the commission meeting, I remember the secretary cried throughout that commission meeting. It was so intense. It was forced on her. And